Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Psyche Academy. So this morning, we're going to be talking more about psychic development. So this morning, we're going to start with our meditation and affirmations, as we always do every morning. Then we're going to move on to psychic development. We're going to look into alliance with feelings. We're going to be looking more into studying depth in readings as well. And we're also going to be looking at timelines and dates in regards to approximations about when certain events can happen. Dates can be one of the most challenging things, I think, in psychic development, so we're going to go over that as well. We're also going to do some demonstration readings, so we're going to partner up as well, too. And then we're going to move on to any particular end-of-class Q&A as well. Hey, Gail, welcome. Thank you for calling.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Okay, great. So to get started, why don't we go ahead and get ourselves into a nice, relaxed state of being, making sure our body's free of any particular points of strain for this morning's meditation. So just go ahead now and close your eyes and just relax yourself. Just go ahead and sink into your chair. Just imagine that every single muscle in your body is going completely limp, and just sink in to the relaxation energies of your being. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out slowly through your mouth. And a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And the next deep breath we will take, we will imagine as if we are breathing in through the pores of our skin. Just imagine as we are breathing in heavily, filling our lungs, and we are breathing in through the pores of our skin. And as we breathe out, we're breathing out through the pores of our skin. So breathing in through our pores and breathing out through our pores. And once again, breathing in through our pores and breathing out through our pores. And one last time, breathing in through our pores and breathing out through our pores. And just relax yourself and breathe normal. And this just helps to energize the body, to bring every single bit of breath into every area of the body, to the pores of the skin. Now let's just connect ourselves now to our heart space, placing our hand or our hands upon the heart center. And just give yourself now a moment to check in, to go into the energies of the heart. Is there anything on your mind right now that you may feel, or challenges or thoughts that may be distracting you from the point of your center? Just allow those thoughts now to be acknowledged, to love those thoughts, and just let them remain within the background. As in the foreground now, you are contained within your heart space, within your love. As that love continues to build and continues to strengthen, send that love to those thoughts in the background so that you are now immersed in the purity of the moment. Completely still, completely free, without process. Just be here, afloat in your heart space. Once again, take one last deep breath in. One last deep breath out. And sending love, appreciation, and blessings to yourself and to all others throughout the world and to all forms of creation. With love and appreciation to you all. Namaste. Okay, we can now come back into the present moment. Feel free to wriggle out your hands, your feet, and flutter your eyes if you need to. All right, so now we're going to move on to, again, this morning's affirmations. So I'm going to go ahead and start my particular affirmation. I realized that in the past I had a certain skewed version in regards to spiritual relationships, and now I'm realizing that everything in regards to spiritual relationships is basically through the aspect of spirit, that we are all one heart, one mind, one body, one soul, and that anything is possible to discover that beauty within yourself through another that functions as catalyst. So that's a big realization. I wrote a pretty big note last night about my journey with spiritual relationships. It's actually gotten a pretty strong response. So that's been kind of on my mind now for the last 24 hours. So it's been a very strong level of clarity, just kind of writing that note and getting understanding on that particular level. Okay, so why don't we move on to Melanie. Melanie, your affirmation for today.
Okay. I acknowledge that I'm letting my old distractions, work and negativity get to me emotionally. And I realize that by breathing, not focusing on it, and doing the things that I'm passionate about and excites me will make all the difference.
Great. Excellent. Very good. Thank you. All right, let's move on to Sosa.
I realize that I've neglected exercising my body more efficiently. I've gotten really lazy, and I know it's important, so I will begin to move more. It doesn't have to be a lot, but at least something more than just trying to go outside for walks. That's it.
Is there a particular field of exercise that you enjoy that might sound pretty good for you to look into?
I like Bob Harper's yoga. I
Yoga.
also Jillian's killer yoga when I'm in better shape. And there's another one. Yeah, dance yoga is great. So I'll begin that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be getting into something new called sword fit, which is basically sword fighting,
Okay.
which is actually going to be kind of cool. You actually have to use real swords.
That sounds fun.
Oh, that's going to be a blast. I've actually ordered a sword off eBay as well, too. That's coming, so I can actually practice. So
That's cool.
It's actually based off an anime series, so I'm actually getting this new sword that's coming. So, okay, I'll show it to you guys once I get it. So it'll just be good things to practice at home. I got my backyard here. I can practice and stuff. Unless a person sees me with a sword and is like, oh my god, he's going to kill me. I think, relax. It's only for fitness. It's okay. So that's very good. That's very good, so thank you so much for sharing. Okay, let's move on to Khalil.
I acknowledge that I know that meditating more would be very beneficial for me, and I haven't been meditating more than before, and I realize that it's just a simple decision to do it, and then going and doing it that it takes. So I'm making that decision.
Great, excellent, very good. Thank you, Khalil. All right, let's move on to Gail.
Hi, everyone. I acknowledge that I can't control everything, and I realize that the universe has divine timing, and it is out of my control, so I am surrendering to the universe.
Very
And
good.
so it is.
No, that's what it's all about. Just gotta surrender. Thank you, Gail. All right, let's move on to Anne.
Gail, mine is very similar. I acknowledge that I prefer to know the direction that I'm moving in and how it will unfold. And I'm understanding as I do this and have to back up and wait and allow, and would have gotten there quicker had I allowed it to unfold the way that divine timing has in mind. I'm seeing it over and over, and it's happening faster and faster, learning that as I just pull, it's not so much pull back, just allow things to happen, hold the intention and the joy and where I'm wanting to go, but allow it to happen in the way and in the timing that is best for me, divine timing.
Very good. Excellent. All right, guys, thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to our water affirmations. So again, just being able to place our powerful, positive affirmations into the water. So go ahead and grab your water now and just feel free to place your affirmation in the glass. You can begin when you're ready. So we're going to go ahead this morning and talk more about psychic development. Tomorrow we'll be looking into that a little bit more as well too. There'll be some additional features that will be starting on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Again, just representing psychic development. This is going to be our big focus a lot this week. And of course, next week we're going to be moving into the Akashic Records, so that will be next week. So for this week, we're just going to look more into psychic development. And again, if there are questions in between the segments, feel free to ask. And of course, we also have our Q&A session at the end. So if there's any situations, any understandings that may not be clear, feel free to just express that. Okay, so with psychic development, we're going to look at first with alliance with feelings. So whenever I have been doing readings, I have felt that the strongest way that these readings have gotten really, really prolific and really have been just a lot more in-depth is when you're really looking at it into the heart space. There can be people in that sense who are quite logical, and they can get certain types of feelings in regards to sensations or in regards to perceptions that they're able to share kind of on a logical standpoint. I've actually seen some male psychics who really aren't kind of emotional guys, but they are actually quite gifted psychics, but they're really only able to see a certain amount of depth perception based upon that. So when you really open up your feelings, you're communicating a lot more with spirit. You know, I've even with a lot of the students I've trained in the past in old online classrooms as well, they've done really, really great, but just mostly like the guys themselves. They're just trying to still kind of figure it out. They want to throw this blueprint into a lot of the perceptions that they're getting. And again, that's fine. But the whole idea is that it's not about over-logicalizing the form to death, because that's not really going to get you anywhere. It's the more that you can communicate openly with spirit, the more that spirit can work together with you. And so that's the whole thing, is that when we're starting to get visions or we're getting any particular type of extrasensory perception that relates to our reading, we can talk to spirit about this. Sometimes I may say to spirit, okay, so I have my client here, here's Bob. What is it that you can share with me about Bob? And all of a sudden I'll see this sailboat in the middle of the ocean. And I'll say, okay, well, Bob, looks like you're going to be going on a sailing boat trip. No, that can't be true. I can't stand the water. I would never go near a boat. Oh, that's weird, because I'm seeing a sailboat here, etc. Doesn't mean that this is exactly what's going to happen literally. The whole idea is that if you see a sailboat in the middle of the ocean, it can represent a lot more symbolic meaning. It can represent that he feels abandoned, that he feels by himself, that he feels lonely, or that he values independence. Again, it really just comes down to the point even of dream decryption with a lot of the particular visions that we get when we're doing readings. So the whole key here is that we want to really have alliance with our feelings, and that really starts by being able to communicate with spirit. If we're confused by something that we're receiving within our minds that is a perception, then we can ask spirit, what is it that you're showing me, spirit? What is it that you can tell me more about here? And that can even be followed up by a little bit more breadcrumbs here and there that will help you to get a little bit more understanding about what is attempting to come through relating to a psychic vision or a claircognizant moment, etc. Whatever it may be that decides to come through you to get some type of perception to the client who you're speaking to. So that client may just want to know more about their family, or they may want to know more about if their financial abundance in the future, is there a loved one in the future, etc. And so you're just working together with spirit. And so the whole idea is when I'm saying that we're aligning with feelings, we're really just aligning with spirit, because spirit is the essence of feelings. So we're really looking into how our heart reacts when we're communicating with a person. We can even tell, too, that when a person comes and sits down, if we have a table here, there's another chair, a person comes and sits down, our body instantly reacts. Our mind instantly reacts. Our feelings instantly reacts. That's great. That means we're being calibrated at the same time this person is coming to sit down right in front of us. So it's all about being able to be aware of that, to see exactly how does your body feel in this moment. Maybe there's a little sharp pain that's on the left side of your abdomen here, and maybe you can just say that to him right away. I'm just detecting that there's a little bit of a disruption here around the left side of my abdomen as you sat down. Is everything okay? Are you feeling good in there? Oh, no, I've actually had this kind of pain for quite some time, right? So you're basically expressing the feelings as they come through. And if you're feeling that you have to bottle that up, that actually creates a type of prevention of bond. And so whenever a person is coming to you, and even if it's a little 30-second conversation, you have created a strong energetic bond with that person. You're interacting with them. So as soon as you start interacting with that person, you start feeling these sensations that come in, be very open to expressing those particular feelings with that person. It's even when I've done readings with you guys as well too. If I feel that there are certain energies that are coming through that may be reflecting itself within my body, then I definitely share that with you guys. It's, okay, I'm feeling a little twitch in the knee right now, or there's a little twitch up here in the shoulder, etc. Are you feeling that as well, right? So that's basically what we want to do, is we want to make sure that we have a very strong, honest, open field, so to speak, relating to feelings and being able to talk to somebody about that. Again, one of the biggest things that a lot of people have told me, and again, this is kind of like more the males, not so much the females, but it's more so about what can I do to really align with my feelings? How can I become more feeling? You have to allow your feelings to have value to yourself. If you don't feel that your feelings have any kind of value, you're not going to notice these particular feelings as they come through. To be an empath is all about empathy. To have telepathy is all about having that empathic ability. I know Bashar refers to it as telepathy, and that's, in that sense, very appropriate. So it's all about being able to really open yourself up to your heart space, and even for women as well too. It's just that even though there's times you guys have great perception of feeling, there's still a lot of other feelings behind those feelings that you're still looking to get familiar with as well too. Just being able to create this cluster, right? So the whole key here is that a lot of women I know want to try and become masculine, right? They want to try and bury a lot of their feelings and try and be like a guy, and trying to have those kind of masculine energies very, very strong and prominent, and they're forgetting a lot of their femininity. And so it's very, very important that, of course, there's nothing wrong with having masculine energy. There's nothing wrong with having feminine energy. It's about being able to balance them. So it's about looking at a scale here. So the whole idea is that you want to align with your feelings by valuing that you have feelings. That's the whole key. And again, just from the way that we're raised, from the way that we have our education background, from the way that we work together in society, sometimes we forget that as soon as I meet a new person and I just get this really weird feeling from them, oh, just ignore that. That's just cold feet, or that's just the jitters, whatever it may be, right? That's just something that we do. We dismiss a lot of that. But again, when we're looking into the psychic world, when we're looking to develop ourselves as psychics, feeling is mandatory. Now, you have to have feeling. You have to have that very, very strong. This is what it's all about, being a universal psychic. I'm not teaching people how to be traditional psychics here. We're looking into a universal psychic, one who can look into the abilities of healing, one who can look into alliance with feeling, one who can access the Akashic records, one who can channel, one who can do mediumship, one who has all the perceptions of their psychic abilities open. That's what we're aiming for here in this particular academy, is to show you how you can become a full-fledged universal psychic, so that all these particular abilities can come through. So as I talked about last week, additionally, that we were looking into our Claire abilities as well too. So this kind of goes beyond the feeling point. But how did everybody do in regards to discovering their Claire abilities? Why don't we start firstly with Willany. Willany, what were you able to discover pertaining to your Claire abilities as shared last week?
I was able to discover that definitely clairvoyance is one of them, and a little bit of, sorry, I'm looking at my notes, and claircognizance.
Great. Excellent. So kind of that instantaneous knowing.
Right.
Vision. Okay, very good. So Lisa, how about you?
Besides clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairfeeling, claircognizance, I was working with Autumn's 2 cats, actually, so to help her out a bit. So slightly remote viewing for that, but not too much.
Quite a bit, actually. That's quite that's the whole idea. You got your good 3 or 4 categories right there. So that's very, very impressive. Give yourself some credit for that. We want to see value in this class. So, it's not too great. I only have this, that, and this, that, the other thing. Are you kidding me? That's quite a bit of stuff, So really look into the value of what you have. Again, confidence is key, especially when you're developing yourself. So that's very good. And you have a lot of great talents, great skills. And I've seen this post as well, too. Very, very impressive as well. Thank you. Willany, do you also have clear empathy, also being able to feel the emotions in others? Because I feel you have that very strong as well.
I'm not sure. I'm still trying to discover.
I think you do.
I think I have a little.
skill you can add to that. I think you have a very strong. You're able to step into a room with a person, and you're able to feel their feelings at the same time. You know, maybe a person that you want to get closer to, or a person you want to step away from. That's a clear empathic one, right?
Okay.
So that's basically you functioning as an empath. So I feel you have that as well too.
Thank you. Would you say for psychometry, when you say objects, does that mean like trees, nature as well?
Yeah, basically everything that you would consider to be beyond human in that sense.
Okay.
Even working together with animals in a certain way. Animals do have a certain form of different type of consciousness, but that could be a type of psychometry because you are tapping into their energies, you're tapping into their feelings and seeing exactly how they feel. So that's kind of a cross between clairempathy and psychometry in a way.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's move on to Khalil. Khalil, how about you?
Let's see. I wrote them all down in a list and just kind of rated them 1 to 10. And so the strongest ones I got were that I've seen so far in the past couple of weeks was clairvoyance and clairempathy.
Mm-hmm.
The next one down was claircognizance, along with clairsentience.
Mm-hmm.
And then below that was significantly lower clairaudience, and then just barely anything was psychometry, claircentric, and then I don't recognize that I was getting anything for clairgustance.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, we all have these particular capabilities within ourselves. We just may not be aware of it consciously, right? And sometimes in our dream states, we can have a dream about eating a cake, and we're actually able to taste it very, very well. We remember the flavor, etc. So all of that would represent a clairgustance, which would represent the idea of psychic taste, would be brought forward, right? So sometimes we have to go into different altered states in order to realize we have these particular abilities. It's not saying that in your conscious state you need to have all of these down, because that may not even be possible. But as long as you know that, if I'm going into dream state, maybe if I'm going into my theta or my delta states, I'm noticing that my clairaudience is picking up a lot more. I'm just noticing these things. That's why you're really becoming aware of these particular abilities in conscious states or in altered states of being. As long as you're aware of that, then you're well ahead of the game. And that's the whole idea, is being able to know that these abilities exist within you, despite them being conscious or not. So, very good. Thank you, Khalil. Let's move on to Gail.
Yeah, were you going to say something? Oh, I didn't know that he was finished.
Khalil, did you have something else?
I had a question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So the last couple of readings I did.
Sorry, you
Muted.
Yeah, muted.
Oh, there we go. Okay. The last couple of readings that I did, I got almost fully clairsentient.
Right.
I don't know if that means anything significant, but anyway, there it was.
So you're able to sense some energies around you, like perhaps spirit guides, anything like that?
I could feel something in my body whenever I would kind of place myself into the person, you could say.
Very good.
But I didn't really notice much else.
That may represent that a guide is working alongside you while you're doing readings. So you may actually have a guide that's actually coming through you to help you align and adjust yourself so that the information that comes through in perception based on that reading can come through nice and smoothly and proficiently. So it feels like there's a guide or a helper that's helping you in that.
Okay.
Yeah. So very good. And yeah, that definitely is a clairsentient feeling. So very good. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead now and move on to Gail.
I seem to have a lot of abilities as far as the clairvoyance. I know that I'm an empath. I see, feel, hear, but on different days I get different gifts. It's just so weird. But a lot of times I believe that I'm letting my ego come in and filtering whatever that's coming through to me. So I just have to kind of relax and just let it flow and not try to analyze what's coming through.
You're right. You're absolutely right, because I have those days as well too. I have days where I feel I'm really, really, oh my goodness, I'm getting really strong with claircognizance. There's other days where I feel I have a clog. So like, what's going on here? It's like, I can't read a person well today. I just don't know. Maybe I feel I'm out of sorts, so I need to kind of readjust myself with meditation, or need to go for a walk. The best way that I find through me, besides meditation, is actually going for a walk. When I actually go for a walk, I feel a lot more clear afterwards, and I come back home, and I feel a lot more rejuvenated. So I just kind of take that walk outside, go out in nature, for about 15 minutes, half an hour, then come back. I just go to the store, grab a little latte, and then come right back. And after doing that, I feel really refreshed. There's a lot of things that come together. And that's kind of like my walking meditation. There will be times too where I'll just kind of sit on the couch and do a short meditation for a few minutes if I'm feeling kind of blocked, or if I feel that something's not coming through right away. Then yeah, that can happen as well. So it can happen that each day we feel that something else is either a great improvement or still a bit of a challenge, or that certain forms of senses in regards to our psychic perception may be firing up a little bit more than others than what we're used to. So that does happen. It's just part of the fluctuations that you're going through regarding shifts. So yes.
I wanted to ask a question. The other day when I was doing a reading for Celissa, I actually picked up Anne, and it's been sticking with me because I want to clarify for Anne what came through. But in this type of situation, how do you stay connected to one person rather than having other things come through? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Are you asking me, or are you asking Anne?
I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I just heard Anne's name there. So okay, so you said if one being is coming through, you feel that other beings are trying to come through at the same time?
Well, like in a group reading. It was the first time that happened to me. I was reading Celissa, and I was getting things from Anne, and the spirit keeps coming to me about Anne.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, it may be that basically the message that you have actually applies to the same two people. This actually happens as well too. Like, I've noticed that when I've had partners in the past and I've been able to do readings with another person in the room, I've noticed that everything I was saying to them was also meant for that partner I had in the past as well too. So I would say something about career or finances and being able to work together with finances, and I noticed that energy was also for her as well at the same time. So it's basically in that sense that you're performing double duty for a single reading. So it's basically enlightening two birds with one stone, not killing them, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is. It's being able to really notice that there's a dual message taking place here. So when you feel that something was for Anne, but you were giving a reading for Celissa, then that basically serves a double duty. So that can happen at times. It just notices that there sometimes can be messages that are effective for two or more people at once. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means that you're helping to, in that sense, bring about a message that serves more than the one. So that would be the idea altogether.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Gail. So let's move on to Anne. Anne, how about you in regards to...
Well, just to comment on what Gail had to say, too, remember last reading or reading before last, you said Archangel Michael came in for Celissa and me, so maybe there's some connection that the two of us have, that we're getting a lot of the same stuff.
Wow, I got chills, which I could feel angels all around me. I love that feeling.
Celissa, we do have to get together. Okay, for me, all my life I have been clear empathy. I could always feel what other people were feeling, so I withdrew a lot because, I could tell if someone was angry or anxious or, whatever was going on. So I was always maneuvering around people and gravitating to people that I felt comfortable with because I knew the other person was going to go off at some point in time, and I didn't want to be around that. When I started this work that I'm doing about 7 years ago, that's when the clairsentient came in. That's my strongest gift, I believe. I can feel everything. I can feel when another being's there. I can feel when they pass through the room. I had a ghost or some entity come through. I started picking up thoughts. I had to ask it to leave. I recognized those were not my thoughts, but I felt it. About the same time, the dog jumped up and ran to me and barked, which is really neat, or that sort of thing. So I'm feeling, when I tune into it, it's instant. It feels like I'm walking through spider webs sometimes. I can feel the auras of inanimate objects. I can actually go from the bed to the bathroom without even opening my eyes because I feel where things are. I've had one or two instances of clairaudience. One when I was really, really depressed before I left my husband. I would wake up every morning and literally hear, "You need to go." It was like someone was there speaking to me, and it went on for 6 months. "You need to go. You need to," till I started talking back to it, and that's when I had to leave because my husband was going to have me committed. He thought I was going crazy. Clairvoyance comes and goes. I never thought of myself as clairvoyant, but there are times when I close my eyes and because I always thought it was like seeing, like I see you so clearly. I thought it was going to be like a seeing like that. I've had that happen once or twice, but generally it's if I close my eyes, sometimes in vivid color, something will just appear, some scene I'm watching. Sometimes when I go to bed, it'll be like I'm on a spaceship and the stars are coming towards me, and then there'll be something in the middle of it. I don't know what it all means. Or right before I went to Sedona in October, when I set up a tour with a Native American out there, I closed my eyes, fully awake, and all of a sudden I saw seeing all these flowers blooming and herbs, and it was in vivid color, and I just watched it unfold. But up until we started doing all this, I never thought that I could control it or decide, okay, I'm going to see something. And so when we have our little mini readings, I always get nervous about it, but I close my eyes, and then it's more cartoon-like, you know, like when I saw Brad on the raft. It's not seeing it like I'm seeing my computer screen in front of me, but it's, you know, I could see it enough to draw it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what that is.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, it's hard to know.
Yeah, that's very true. That's exactly what clairvoyance is. Because clairvoyance isn't about having the same kind of vision that you have here, like what you see with your physical eyes. Clairvoyance doesn't always relate to that. There can be people who can go into that kind of vividness, but really it's kind of like just being able to pick up how you feel in a daydream state. Whenever you feel that a daydream is coming through, you just know that, you know, I'm not seeing that with my physical eyes. I know it's happening within my mind, but it is something very visual. Really, with me, I get like snapshots at times. Sometimes I'll just get blips like that, and it's like 2 seconds, and all of a sudden, bam, there's downloads that are coming through claircognizantly. So you'll actually notice that your clair abilities at times can actually serve each other. So if you're getting a vision that represents a frame set here, then all of a sudden, bam, you're getting all this information. That's really what happens with me. There can be times too where I get like, yeah, kind of like cartoony type vision as well too. I can see like different types of browns as well. I can close my eyes and I can see that I'm out in space as well too. And really what that is you're connecting to one of your transient bodies that are existing deeply within the cosmos or deeply within different dimensions. So when you're picking up these other different forms of multi-dimensional experiences, you're connecting with other layers of consciousness of yourself. Sometimes it may be space-bound, sometimes it may be on other planets, sometimes it may be in other dimensions or just in grids with all these different beautiful colors. You can be on different parallel Earths. It's really amazing. We're just getting these glimpses of these different multi-dimensional fragments because they are serving a purpose in some particular way. It may represent something about relaxation, may represent something about expansion, you know, whatever it may be. But we're just tapping into these things, and they all come, you know, completely unexpectedly. But that's all part of, in a way, clairvoyance, because you're still tapping into that. You have something to fit a picture into that. So it doesn't matter about, you know, having to have full 20/20 vision in regards to clairvoyance. It's as knowing that as long as you see something that you feel you can describe, that's a clairvoyant experience, right? So it doesn't have to be as vivid as what we know as physical sight. So very good. That's very, very good. I notice again that you have actually very good clairvoyance with the cauliflower on top of Salissa's head. That was very impressive. That's excellent. Okay, guys, very good. So I just wanted to kind of go over the clair abilities just really quickly, as it was our homework assignment for last week. So I'm very glad to see you know, a lot of good awareness pertaining to the clair abilities themselves. Okay, so now we're going to go into studying depth in readings. So again, this is something we're going to kind of look into a little bit deeper today. So when we do demonstration readings, we're going to look a little bit more into the depth of things. This is where it's okay to pause. It's okay to take a few moments, and if you feel you're receiving something, ask Spirit. Just say, Spirit, why am I seeing this? Spirit, why am I feeling this? Spirit, why am I receiving this? Right? And just seeing exactly what's coming through. We're just experimenting here, like we've done a lot of readings on each other, so we're a very familiar group with each other. We all know that we're wonderful people, so there's no need to have any kind of, you know, fear or anything like that, or any anxiety. But what we're doing today is we want to look a little bit more into depth. Okay, that's the whole key here. So just giving yourself a few moments just to be able to check in with yourself. Maybe if it's something that's already clear, that you're already getting, well, then depth is already automatic. But if you feel that there's still that something there that you're a little confused about, this is just getting you more into the habit of talking to spirit. So you just want to talk to spirit, whatever it is, whether it's my higher self, whether it's spirit, whether it's universe, whether it's God, whatever it is, whatever you want to refer to it as is fine. But just being able to communicate with that aspect and ask, what is it that I'm receiving? Because here's the thing, we ourselves aren't really able to control anything. That's the whole idea. We don't control anything when we're really looking into psychic ability. Spirit is deciding to work with us. And it's not the other way around. We don't decide to work with spirit. Spirit is the one that says, okay, you fit the bill, you fit the part, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work with you. Okay, great. What do I have to do? Well, here's some visions for you. Okay, what is it you're showing me? Well, I can show you a little bit, I can tell you a little bit, but it's really for you to look into this a lot deeper, feel its energy, and then being able to express it in the best way you can. And that's really all we can give you. Okay, great. That sounds fun. So, really the more that we can bypass this, not only in the psychic world, but in life altogether, the better off you are. It's not about control. Control is an illusion. This is basically why I bring it together in saying that control is a con created by a troll, right? That's really what it is. We're not here to control anything. Even the way that our body moves like this, we're not really controlling it. We're looking into the idea that we are directing, that we are guiding, that we are flowing, and that we are basically acting in regards to our expressions and to who we are. The expressions serve themselves, because this is why there isn't really that much of a thought when I'm trying to move my arm like this. It's just an automatic process. So this is basically where expression is being the flow to help us understand how our bodies move. So control really doesn't exist in our reality other than the idea of seeing it as enforcement. The feeling that we need to control a situation because we're insecure with the idea of the situation as it presents itself, so we need to enforce ourselves upon it to try and rearrange it because we don't like it, right? And the universe doesn't work that way. The universe never works in some type of alliance of control. It's all representing equilibrium. It all has expression and flow and guidance. And that's basically what we are becoming, is just becoming a humble guide, a humble messenger for the universe. And the more that you can see it in that way, the more life cooperates with you. Because rather than seeing something that you don't like and you have to try and control it, you have to try and manipulate it, it's just going to burn you out. It's going to just cause you to be completely, fatigued, and you're just going to have no strength left. So now, rather than trying to fight that idea, well, you know what? That's a situation I don't prefer. And now I'm going to look into vibrating into a situation that I feel is in alliance with myself. So if I'm feeling I'm doing a job that I don't like, that I really can't stand it, and I'm going to try and manipulate it and control it to try and make it something that maybe I can enjoy, I'm going to burn myself out, because all we're doing is we're taking that puzzle piece and we're smashing it, we're pounding it, and we're punching it into the puzzle where it doesn't belong. And that's all we're doing. That's what control is. Control is just attempting to smash a puzzle piece into a puzzle where it doesn't belong. So throw control to the side. It no longer has any value to me, so I'm throwing it away. So now I'm going to look into guidance. Now I'm going to look into flow. Now I'm going to listen. Now I'm going to love. And my awareness is going to bring me into situations that I really enjoy, that will really be an alliance to myself. This can be a very big challenge to do because as human beings, we're so prone to attachment. Everything in our reality feels like attachment. We're attached to people, we're attached to our jobs, we're attached to our career, we're attached to finances, we're attached to material possessions, etc. Everything is just attachment, attachment, attachment. It's amazing how the systems on this world, on this planet, work. It really is just about that we want to award people who are materialistic, who are psychopaths, who are, idiots. No offense, but being able to look into the idea that okay, well, you got numb feelings, just do as we say, obey, 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 and that's what you got to do, right? Keep yourself numb. The whole idea here is that we have so much more beyond all of that. We're beyond all that numbness. We're beyond all that obedience. We're beyond all that control. We're beyond all that attachment. And so the whole key here is that functioning as a universal psychic is knowing that in a moment I can let all of that go. I can surpass all of those particular boundaries of my reality, and I can move into a whole new theme without complaining about it, without feeling that it's going to cause me some type of massive effect on my body, on my physical reactions, into everything that I am. Really being able to just get up and say, I'm going to go to Mexico. This will be great, right? Here we go. I'm going to go on the line, book a ticket, and off I go tomorrow, right? Wouldn't that be great, just to have that kind of freedom just directly in your minds? This is exactly what it is, developing yourself as a psychic, is knowing that nothing is attached to you, that you have a form to where belief systems are always attempting to be dissolved, liquefied, and you're expanding your fields a lot more. So it's no longer about the issue of control here. It's all about being able to look into guidance, into flow, and into expression. And the more that you can do that, the more the universe is going to play with you. It's going to have fun with you now. It's going to enjoy it. Oh my goodness, now here I am having this great opportunity that's come together. I never thought I was worthy of this. That's because we try to control things that we don't prefer. And that's it. Just like it's a kid that has a toy that he really doesn't like, and he's trying to manipulate it into something else that it's not. And you're going to spend forever on that, right? So something that you do not prefer is within your life. Admit that that's something that you do not prefer. Forgive that aspect of yourself with any particular forms of challenges or hardships that you have with yourself, and let that energy become liberated. And now move into something that you personally enjoy, that you personally want to flow with. That's how the universe works. That's how you see more of it, through that multidimensional understanding. When I realized this is how I've gotten to where I am right now. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It is a really beautiful life. There's still a lot of things that I'm working on, a lot of challenges that I'm going through, but I'm willing to accept those challenges and realize that what can I continue to do to better myself by firstly understanding what I don't want. And this is why I get myself into situations in the first place that may not be too preferable, because I need to understand firstly what I do want by first understanding what I don't want. So that's the whole key. And it doesn't flow into control. It comes through guidance. Okay? So this just goes back to depth. Depth will be the best thing discovered when you don't attempt to control a vision, or you don't attempt to control guidance. You let guidance be guidance. You let vision be vision. You let perception be perception. And you can ask. You can always ask, okay, great, Spirit, why am I receiving this? Oh, because of this, right? That's all you're doing. You're opening a dialogue much more deeply with Spirit, as again, Spirit decides to work with you and not the other way around. Okay, any questions on that?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Made it nice and clear. Excellent. All right. Timelines and dates. Now, this is a big thing as well, too. Actually, the funny thing is I had an email this morning with a client of mine who's saying, oh, yeah, you know what, Ray R. was telling me that, in a month's time that I'd find my twin flame, and that did happen, but it took a little bit longer than a month. And basically I had to explain to him, well, you know what, dates really aren't important. They are simply approximations. They're placeholders in certain ways, but they really don't matter. What really matters is event. Sometimes there is a very strong likely probability that something can come about, let's say at the end of this month or the end of next month, right? That's a very strong probability. That is not for definite, though. I never tell anybody that, any prediction that is made through myself or through the channel is 100%. It's about feeling. It's just a momentum of energy. Just as soon as you could turn the wheel of your car and go into a different avenue, it's just as easy to do that in regards to psychic prediction. The only time that a psychic prediction can actually be 100% accurate is when the person who is involved in regards to that prediction does not know about it. Right? Complete and total unawareness is the only time a psychic prediction could actually be 100% accurate. The minute that you bring a psychic prediction into a person's awareness, it is now contaminated. So it is now basically representing the idea that this has been brought into the person's awareness, and now they have free will to decide to go with that energy or move into a bit of a different direction. So now that's the whole idea. So as soon as you bring awareness into a psychic prediction, now it is contaminated in regards to the state of awareness. So that's just something to refer people about. I've met some really good psychics, some really amazing psychics who are actually, very, very accurate in many ways. But even the greatest psychic can really only, at best, have about a 95% accuracy. There's still that 5%, right? So it's being able to notice that, again, you cannot avoid the law of contamination. when it comes into a person's awareness. So that contaminates it. Free will is basically like all this mud that's just piling itself now on top of this word that represents the prediction. So now that becomes contaminated. That's all up to a person now to decide exactly where they want to go with that particular timeline, that prediction itself. So if you are in that sense asking for dates is a judgment call. Okay, it's up to you to decide, oh, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? I usually try to avoid giving dates to people, but I know if a person is very insistent, oh, come on, please, I just want to know when this might happen. All right, and I'll tell them, okay, well, I can give you a ballpark figure, but I just don't want you to get thinking that, okay, well, 6 months are up, where the hell is it, right? It's about the event. That's more so. So again, if they feel that if that's something you want to include, with particular forms of readings, go ahead. Sometimes I have included it. I said, okay, well, maybe about the next 3 months I'm feeling. So I'm feeling there's kind of a summertime feeling that's happening here. Sometimes you may even get a vision of a calendar, the month of May. You may get that. Okay, well, I just got the feeling of May. But again, take it with a grain of salt. And, this can really happen at any time. It's just about aligning yourself. But the feeling here is the month of May, right? So that's something you can do as well. It's really just up to you. There's some people who say, should I really use dates, or should I really give that time of approximation? I say, it's up to you. You have to be the one to decide that. You're the reader, right? So if a person really wants that, they really want a date stamp, in regards to this particular type of psychic reading, it's your own judgment call to make that happen. But dates really don't matter. It's about the event. And the event itself has more of a likelihood of happening. We may have it that, okay, I said the month of May, nothing happens. Maybe the client comes, hey, it was May, nothing's happened, what's going on? Can't tell you, man, but I feel that's still going to be happening very, very soon, right? June comes along, oh my goodness, it happened. What happened there? Well, because you started walking different paths. If we're looking at the prediction as a straight line, you started doing this, shoo, 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 boom, right? That's basically what happened. There was an opening that happened in the month of June, and now you're able to grab it, right? And that's what happens. Sometimes, when I'm doing these predictions as well, even when Adronis is making the 2015 to 2020s, those are great, but they may also be fizzled out. They may actually be for later times as well. Nothing is ever set in stone. The future is always in motion. The future, again, really doesn't even exist, but it's just basically how we can estimate. We're basically taking out a calculator and doing the best approximate estimation of variable representing that energy to manifest itself. And that can be very, very tricky. That's a very, very big challenge when we start with dealing with dates, because Spirit doesn't care about dates. It doesn't use measurement. It doesn't use time. It can do whatever it can to help compensate to give some type of an idea of a date, but again, that really doesn't matter. It's not really important. So again, it's up to you to make a judgment call on that. Any questions on that? Dates and timelines?
That would also be names as well. Names are hard to get.
Names are very challenging to get, yes, absolutely. Like even when I'm doing Akashic Records as well, too. Here's the funny thing. When I do Akashic Records, almost all the names that I say in it aren't actually the names of the people at all. What I actually do is I receive a name for a person to call this particular life. So maybe the guy's real name in that life is James, right? When I start doing an Akashic reading on that person, okay, if I'm asking for a name, okay, I'm getting Bill. Okay. Two different names, however, the name Bill applies to the marker or to the anchor of how that person can actually tap into that life with this name Bill, and may even discover later on that his name is James. And they may come back to me, hey, Brad, I tapped into that life, and I got the name James. What happened here? Well, it's not to say that that, in that sense, was not the name. It's just the idea that I created an anchor energetically that you could refer to this life as, so that you could tap into it. The reason why it's so hard to get names is because names are a personal form of identity. They're an energetic complex. They exist within the core of a being. And so really it's a very, very challenging thing to get names at times. Sometimes when you get spirit guides, it's a little bit easier because spirit guides are willing to tell you their names. Like, I got Adronis' name as soon as he came through. Even though that's not really his name, that's just something that he refers to himself as his energy. I am Adronis from Sirius, right? Sometimes your spirit guides may come through. If you have like a native Indian who may come through, he may give you a name, White Bear or something like that, for you to call him. That doesn't mean that was his name in the life that he was here on the planet, but that is a name that best signifies his energy, right? The same with any other kind of spirit guide. That's the whole idea. So names themselves serve a convenience in the compatibility of energies between yourself and the other entity. That's why they come together in this way. So again, even though this person's name is James and I got Bill, doesn't mean that there's a lack of symmetry between those energies. I just created an anchor so that that person can go into their life through meditation and start looking into that, utilizing the energy of Bill. Because I would say to them, okay, so you use the name Bill and you're able to go into it. Oh, yeah, I was able to go into it. Well, there you go. It served its purpose, right? So now I basically just created that little energetic anchor for that. So names can be challenging. Names and dates are hard because, again, spirit doesn't understand names. It's a measurement. It's the whole idea of an illusion. A name is an illusion. It's just a variable. It's a property, right? So spirit doesn't get it. It doesn't understand time. Time is just an illusionary measurement created by man. It doesn't exist. We can't even prove that time exists. That's how funny it is. But when we look at names, we name at locations as well too. Sometimes I don't even get locations on the planet. I get estimations. I say, okay, this is probably happening around the area of China. This may help in, kind of around the area of Europe. It's challenging because we don't always know what these locations are. I may just start to see beautiful land around me, and I have no idea where this is. So I basically have to tune into it a little bit more. What is it that I'm seeing? Okay, this would be kind of close to India, or something like that, right? That's the key. Sometimes spirit will just give you the vision itself and say, here you go, figure it out. Right? Here's what we'll give you. And that's all we can share about between you and this entity who you're reading the Akashic records for. Right? But we'll be getting more into that next week as well. But timelines themselves really is the prominent point here. That timelines can be expressed, timelines can be shared, through vision, through claircognizance, through what have you. But it's the dates and it's the names that can be the real challenge. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and move on to demonstration readings. So we're going to go ahead and partner up again. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and get Anne and Khalil to partner up. I'm going to get Gail and Willany to team up. And Celissa, you and I will be teaming up. Okay. So we're going to start firstly with Anne and Khalil.
Great.
So we'll have Khalil go first this time. Then Anne can follow up. So again, Khalil, just taking your time. If you feel that you have more depth relating to something, just feel free to ask Spirit about that depth, about if there's something that you're not quite understanding. Ask for more of that guidance and see exactly what comes through with that. So whenever you're ready, Khalil, just give yourself a few moments if you need to, and take it away when you're ready.
Okay. My first feeling that I got was kind of like a smiling eye squint, squinting the eyes, squeezing around the eye sockets, largely from underneath the eyes. When I asked what that means, I got trying to understand as the response.
That would be accurate.
Just curiosity by itself comes to mind. I'm not really picking up much more than just that.
Okay. And I think that's basically just what it is for now, so that you're pondering with that. That's very good. I really like the idea that you were going into spirit and asking more about the squinting feeling. So, Anne, does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense because this is also new and I'm trying to understand so much. And It's interesting because I'm a little nearsighted, and so actually this morning I was actually reading and working with relaxing the muscles, because I understand the muscles around the eye tense, and this what causes it. So I was trying to work on not being so tense and squinty around the eyes and relax it. So maybe you picked up on that as well.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so why don't we go ahead and have Anne now to perform her reading for Khalil. And when you're ready, take it away.
Well, when I tuned into Khalil, I saw a cloud above his head. It was white and cottony, and there's an angel sitting cross-legged, almost hippie-like, on top of the cloud, and he's all in white. He's got a longer beard and white hair, and he's got a book that he's holding open. And when I asked about the book, I got Akashic Records, and it feels like you're going to be doing Akashic record readings, or he's going to be helping you tap into the records. He's already got them open for you to start working with that. He's got an interesting halo on. At first it was kind of sitting up there like you would think, and then it started tilting. It's not sitting on the head, it's off the head, 6 inches or so, and it's starting to tilting. It goes to your right, and it's kind of spinning around, and there's something going around in a counterclockwise motion right around the halo. And the halo actually looks like one of those neon tubes that you see, the neon signs, but it's white with slight yellow in it. But it looked like bees kind of swarming around, but I think it's fairies. And they're just flying around that, and it's kind of tilted like all the way here right now, and they're going around it. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're adding energy to it, or I'm asking, and it's helping to reduce confusion, I believe, is what I'm getting. So maybe in the readings, maybe you have some hesitation as to whether they're correct or not, or getting clarity, and they're trying to help with the confusion. Maybe they're going to try to help pull that halo back so it sits straight up on the angel's head. So that's what I'm getting.
It's very good, yeah. Well, bees are collectors as well, too, so they bring balance to the hive. So
okay.
That's basically what you're seeing there as well, too. So, Khalil, does that make sense?
It does. Let's see. Obviously there was a lot in it, but I don't remember all the details coming correctly.
Well, you have a recording here, so you can always go back to the recordings.
But in general, yes, there's definitely the confusion regarding the Akashic Records part. I can definitely see that kind of thing coming in the near future, or actually really just started being used, in particular with the claircognizance that's been coming up.
Yeah, that's a good synchronicity as well. So we're going into the Akashic Records next week. So very good, excellent. All right, guys, thank you so much. So again, some really great readings there. And again, if you need to go back and just access the recordings, there was a lot of information there. So very good, though, very amazing. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Gail and to Willanie. So Gail, I'll get you to go ahead and go first, and then Willanie can follow up. So Gail, whenever you're ready, take it on.
Well, it was really cool. From the beginning of this class, I knew that I would be working with her.
I was actually getting from Spirit for Gail to work with Willanie.
Yeah, I was getting it from the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's ready to hear this.
I'm ready.
Okay. You have a baby that's trying to communicate with you.
Nice.
The baby says that I'm getting an echo.
I'm
It's
getting
driving
killed.
me cuckoo. The baby's basically saying that you kind of have a plan. I guess when you're going to have a baby, and the baby has their own plan. So, I also see that there's a glass pyramid above your head, but it's like a beveled glass. It's really neat. and it's full of energy. I just feel like you're a very sweet soul, and that pyramid is there to represent the expansion of your mind, body, and soul. Um, I feel like you should be working with a clear quartz crystal. Um, I would look into. I done some work, and I don't know if that's why, and it was phenomenal. I got all kinds of downloads, and I did a session with Brad, and he actually said that crystal was meant for me, and I think that there's a crystal that's exactly meant for you, and you were going to come to it, and you'll know that it's the one you need.
Yeah.
But I just feel I love your energy with your husband. It's really, really good. You're on the same page, and you're going to have a marvelous life together. Again, I got chills and angels, and it's a great feeling, and
That's
God
great.
bless you.
Excellent. What I would suggest also, Willany, is that with the crystal as well, it's going to come to you. So that can come in many different ways. You may actually feel like you go to a group that you may be handed a crystal. You may feel that you maybe have this compulsion to go online and to look into it. It's going to basically make a call to you. So I do feel that there is a guide contained within that crystal as well that will be coming to you. And somebody, they'll find their way to you.
Okay, cool.
The hair is still standing on my arm. It's really cool.
It's going to be good, yeah. It's excellent. Okay, so let's move on to Willany now. So Willany, if you need a few moments just to center, and whenever you're ready, take it away.
Sure. Can I respond?
Oh, you can certainly respond. Yes, of course.
I just want to say, Gail, you were right on the money. I know this is putting my personal and Khalil's personal business out there, but we have started trying for kids, and it has been confirmed that I have had a hybrid, or I have a hybrid child, and I've been trying to reach and connect with it, as well as trying to, become closer to myself and get to know myself and love myself more. And I always felt like I had some type of connection with Egyptian history. And I would tell my husband, like, I'm waiting on us to have a pyramid, like a crystal pyramid, just to have around us. And we've been looking up, mainly my husband, crystals. So, man, it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
What I was just
phenomenal.
getting as well, too, related to your hybrid child, I'd like to actually tap into that. It is a male. It is part of the Yaya civilization, and we refer to him as Shawn, S-H-A-W-N.
Wow, that really resonates with me as well.
Yeah, kind of like a young little boy. So you can tap into that. Almost kind of like a sporty little boy, like really into like the physical activity. So, to speak. So you can tap into that with Shawn, and representing the Yaya symbol. Now this Yaya symbol is something you can easily use here. Basically, it's just 3 points of a triangle that are not connected together. Okay, this is the Yahyel civilization. The Yahyel is Y-A-H-Y-E-L. Okay, so you can just use something like that. Now these lines themselves are gold, so they're basically illuminating golden lines, and they're not interconnected together. So you're basically utilizing that symbol, and you can think of the word Shawn, and that can be a part of connecting to his energy.
Cool. Thank you.
Right, so Khalil also says that amethyst screamed out to him in order to order it to Willany 2 days ago. So something like that.
And I didn't make the order.
Very good. Okay, so let's go ahead and let Willany go ahead with her reading now. So Willany, whenever you're ready, feel free to take it away.
Okay. I had some pieces illuminate. They were to the left and the right of me. One looks like in how do I describe it? It looked like this, but it was this direction, and another was like in 5 squared, maybe like a hexagon. I'm not good with math. And it was pulsating with light as if it was trying to like fit itself back together. I tried to ask why, and I wasn't really clear on the message, but I feel like you're trying to figure things out and work them out. And I'm not sure if it's something that you're trying to force in time, but it's coming together. It just may not come when you want it to, but it feels like it's coming together. I got thoughts of maybe sunlight, and maybe it's just because we're connected because I used to live in Florida and I thought of palm trees. I tried to ask why, and I really didn't get a clear response.
Okay. Good. Gail, would you like to follow up on that?
Yeah, that really resonates with me. When I was giving her message, I forgot to tell her that there's going to be a bird that's going to be showing up at your window a couple times a week, and that's your baby energy. I don't know why it's a bird.
That's good.
But,
yeah, birds are messengers, so they're messengers from spirits. So. Yeah, I can feel that. It almost kind of feels like a little finch or something like that. Something very small, little bird.
Yeah. Listen, like, I'm a very hyperactive person, and I'm impatient, and I want everything yesterday. And I'm learning to ground myself and stay in the now, so I can see all this coming together now that I'm relaxed. So I definitely resonate with that. So thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you very much, both Willany and Gail. Great job. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to Celissa and myself. So Celissa, I'm going to go ahead and get you to go first, and I'll explain exactly why I did this thing. But so Celissa, whenever you feel ready, go ahead.
Okay. I got Karaoke that's going to give you a symbol, and you'll know why, because you've been asking for something. I don't have details, so I'm going to do my best I can for it. Okay. Also, you'll know what this is.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Okay.
Vibrational shift. So yeah, and the 4 and the 1 ratio.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Also, yeah, he says, when was the last time you said hi?
Oh,
He's funny.
Yeah. That's good.
He's funny.
I may actually see if I can bring him in here in a minute, but I basically was told that Adronis has something to share with you. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Adronis in here for a minute. And I might bring Karaoke in as well, too, to see if he has some elaborations as well. So I'm just going to tune into that state. And again, if you guys do have any questions for Adronis as well, too, after Celissa's reading, then you guys can also jump in if you have any Q&A as well. So here we go. Okay. We are here at this time, and we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to the individual known as Celissa. In regards to the energies that we share pertaining to Celissa's vibration at this time, we would recommend the idea of laying down on the grass more often. And in that sense, if you are not able to naturally do this in a constant, we would represent the idea of being able to listen to a piece of music that is, in that sense, rich in melody, but very low in treble and in bass. Actually being able to feel the reverberations effects of a very pleasant state of music. So whether that be something that personally relaxes you, something that personally motivates you, something that personally inspires you altogether. A recommendation is just being able to feel the bass and the treble of that particular energy that can reverberate those particular sensations as if you were to lay upon a beautiful field of grass. What this is basically doing is helping to sustain certain elements of energy prolifically within your vibration, so that energies in regards to a state of rebalancing pertaining to physical activity, pertaining to mental clarity, pertaining to emotional balancing, can all heal themselves together harmoniously. So that two particular bubbles are now coming together as one and forming a whole new bubble. So understand that there is a version of you within a particular reality that is now coming together in this point of moment, and is in that sense attempting to bond together with you, but a nature implementation is required. And so again, this can be created through the synthesis of low bass or low treble music, representing relaxing and inspiring music, or the science of the simple method, which is just simply laying on a field of grass. This would be the idea that we can share with you that will allow the implementation of physical activity, of mental clarity, and of emotional balancing to return harmoniously in regards to this integration or amalgamation effect with you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right.
We're in deep winter here, though, so I can't lie on the grass.
All right.
Come
Well,
on
the
to
whole idea
Florida.
here- the whole idea here really is
I
that
wish.
the whole idea really is that if it is a cold season in that way, simply see yourself as having a lawn chair, getting dressed nice and warm, and being able to sit on that lawn chair with your feet still touching the grass. Even if there are shoes on, you're still connecting to the grass itself. So the whole key here is being able to notice that, well, it may be cold outside, it may be wet outside, that's all right. Just feel free to improvise in regards to how you can connect with the grass. The reason why we say the grass is because the grass itself is an antenna, and the antenna of the grass itself works harmoniously together with you. Another recommendation we would give is for you to ask permission, if you have a lawn nearby, to actually pull out some of the blades of grass and hold them in your hands. And being able to sit within this lawn chair or any other means, and just being able to bond together with the grass, as the antenna will still work with you just the same. Or, again, option B, representing the synthesis pertaining to the low treble and low bass state of your relaxation music. All right?
Okay. The music is preferable at the moment.
All right. We thank you. But again, do not
you.
dismiss the idea of the grass. This is
Oh,
something
no,
that
no, no, I will not.
much more beneficial. All right?
Yes, yes, thank
Thank you very much. We will also, in that sense, allow a Q&A to happen now at this time. Do any of you have any questions for us this day of your time?
Hi, Adronis, it's Gail.
Hello, Gail.
I had a meditation 4 days ago in the tub where I was praying as well. And what happened was a spaceship was filled in my sight, and it had a fuchsia color at the windows, and then all of a sudden an extension came out of the spaceship and went into my third eye, and my whole body was just like vibrating with a light. And I seen a spirit on a horse as well, a round ball of light with wings of light on a horse coming at me. And I just wanted to know what you saw with this vision that I had.
This energy would be what you would refer to in that sense, a, shall we say, adventurous, or in that sense, invigorating energy that is actually embedding itself together with you. It is what you would refer to as the wings of heaven flying down on the chariot of the horse to bond together with you. So this is representing, in that sense, another benefactor of a theme that is coming into your life that will bring about a great deal of spiritual enrichment. You would refer to this in that sense as a calibration factor, or in that sense, a message from God to connect more deeply together with you, to understand more of your abilities. It is in that sense an ability opener in that way of understanding. The
Wow.
fusion light in that sense represents more calibrations to your, shall we say, fifth layer of the auric field, which in that sense radiates more consciousness together between your vital body and ethereal bodies together. So it is what you would refer to as a midway point.
Thank you. I
right.
appreciate it.
We thank you. Any other questions?
I do. Hi, Adronis. This is Anne.
Hello, Anne.
You or Brad have said that not everyone has in their blueprint to be able to channel vocally, and I was
Yes.
just wondering do I have that ability?
You certainly do, but it would function more so into the aspect of twofold. One of what you would know as deep trance channeling or natural mediumship.
And
So
Brad will
actually
be
being
able
able to go into the deeper levels of trance through, in that sense, what is often referred to as self-hypnosis or induced hypnosis, to actually allow, in that sense, certain archangels to actually channel together through you, what you would know as Michael and Metatron. The other particular form is the idea of mediumship, working together with spirits, speaking as your own voice, as an intermediate between them.
And this will develop through this class and working with
Yes,
Brad?
very soon.
Thank you.
We thank you. Any other questions?
Hi, Jonas. This is Khalil.
Hello, Khalil.
Hi. I've been interested in Oregon
Yes.
lately,
Yes.
and I was just wondering if you had anything to kind of fill me in on.
Well, the substance that you would understand as orgone in that sense is a natural resonator to help improve the purification of natural electromagnetic frequencies. So this can, in that sense, be a high recommendation for those of you who would like to, in that sense, purify the electromagnetic frequency radiation around your space to, in that sense, utilize this as a common filter. And this, in that sense, depending upon its orientation of construction, can be quite effective. Our particular recommendation is that if you are not willing to invest into the idea of orgone, is to collect acorns and chestnuts and actually placing them as a grid around your space. Acorns and chestnuts contain the natural essence of a tree's, shall we say, natural filter to electromagnetic frequencies. When you are actually placing acorns and chestnuts around your space or inside your room, you're actually creating a natural harmonious EMF deflector representing any particular form of dirty electromagnetic frequencies that may be within your vicinity.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We will now at this time bring forward another special guest, and again, as Celissa has so boldly shared, that this is the being that you would know as Kirioki, that represents that of the Ployel civilization. The Ployel civilization represents the second generation of hybrids, to where the Yael represent the first, and the beings that represent the Shikani, that are, in that sense, in associations with the common entity that you would know as Bashar, are the third. The Ployel entity, known as Kirioki, will now come forward in regards to sharing a message with all of you. One moment, please, as we adjust the frequency. We say greetings to our brothers and sisters here on planet Earth. I am Kirioki of the Ployel civilization, and we thank the entity known as Celissa for the opportunity of sharing our particular symbol with this conduit today, as again someone had to proverbially tap him on the shoulder to let him know we are still alive. So we thank you very much to the conduit, known as Celissa, and that the energy of the symbol itself is what you would refer to as a bypass, a vibratory symbol arrangement relating to the energies of collective intelligence that are concurrently fusing together with this conduit right now to understand more clarity containing to these vibrational channeling arrangements. So we thank you, Celissa, once again for being our messenger. We want to inform all of you that this week, all of you will be experiencing a dream that will represent something very important to each of you. For each dream will be different, but each dream is actually being induced to your own preferred contact or contacts that are looking to communicate with you. We would ask all of you now for this week of your time, between this day and the day of your next Saturday of the time, to be aware of the dream states that you will be receiving. You will all be receiving a particular level of dream contact specific to your guide or guides that will be coming through the idea of induced arrangement between spirit and yourselves. And that these particular forms of contacts are, again, integration effects. That, again, 2015 represents the year of integration, and you are moving further into that integration. We are not speaking about what has happened to you last week or what has happened to you yesterday or any format of that nature. We are simply referring that from this time forward, moving on into your next Saturday, between this 7-day span, there will be a contact taking place within each of your dream states this evening, or next evening, or next evening, or moving on all the way to the possibility of next Saturday of your time. We are speaking only to the individuals of this interaction today, that you will be receiving this information, this contact within your dream state. Do we have any questions for us before we conclude this transmission?
I would like to know. Hi, it's Gail.
Hello, Gail.
Hello. I would like to find out if I have.
Are you dancing right now?
Yes, I'm always dancing.
Keep doing so.
I would like to know if I have any hybrid children.
Yes, you do. Although many of them are what you would know as, in that sense, students that are working together on different spacecraft, and that they associate not only that of the Yahyel civilization, but also of our civilization, and all what you would know as different human hybrids as well. And so you do have a particular child that you can refer to as a Yahyel in that way, who refers to himself as Morris, M-O-R-R-I-S. And that he is, in that sense, in his teenage years, or shall we say late teenage years, to a young adult at this particular time. And so Morse, M-O-R-R-I-S.
Thank you.
We thank you.
Hi, I have a question. This is Willany.
Hello, Willany.
I
You
would
wish
like
to ask about your hybrid child, Sean?
Yes.
Yes. He is with us right now, and he will communicate with you, and the whole idea of what he is sharing with us right now is what you would know as the image of a baseball that has stitches in it. And this is a particular symbol that you can utilize just as if you were to imagine in holding it, and as you turn the ball to a certain degree, you will notice that his name is written upon it. And this is a symbol that you can use to connect directly with him.
I have one more question.
Yes.
I feel like I'm unsure if I'm exuberating or showing love, especially when I go outside and I try to connect with nature. Could you tell
feel
me?
a lot of love through you, so that's not a problem.
Okay.
The whole idea is that, again, many of you have the mellow form of thinking that you're not sharing as much love. But for you just to get up and see your world and explore it requires all the love in the world to do so.
Thank you.
So, we thank you very much. And we thank all of you. We must conclude at this time. I am Kirioki of the Playal civilization. To our brothers and sisters here on planet Earth, thank you, and we will now conclude this transmission. Good day. We are back, and we thank you once again for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am a journalist of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this particular broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. Thank you again. Farewell for this timing, and we now return to the conduit. We will speak to you again in the infinite moment of now. Goodbye. Okay, guys, great. That was fun. That was actually the first time I've contacted Kirioki in a few months. So, and thank you again, Melissa, for being on this page. Okay,
This
guys,
is so much
we're going
fun.
to go ahead.
It's just class.
Yeah, that was fun. You can tell there's two different energies between those two, Hideo and Jonas. So Jonas is like, "Come here, oh brother," and it's great. Hideo is kind of like a very old man. He's kind of like a very chief elder, like well within the 300s. So he's.
But he's
a little guy.
funny.
He's very funny. Yeah. He's a lot. He has kind of a lot of Basharish energies, a lot more than Jonas. Jonas is
Very.
Yeah. All right, guys. So thank you so much for a really wonderful class today. And again, if you're here tomorrow, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Really tune into what Kirioki was saying as well too. Pay attention to your dream states. It feels like each of you are going to have some type of really interesting message coming through your dreams sometime this week. So that'll be interesting to hear if something comes through. Okay, great. Thank you again, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and talk to you next time.
Namaste.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye.
Take care.